Next screen sharing. Okay, right. Okay, are you getting the screen? Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And have you guys practiced yesterday? Are you able to host your website on Windows Server? Is it working?
Yes, sir. It's working, sir.
Okay. Have you tried also putting multiple website? Only a single website you tried?
Single website we tried, sir.
Okay. And anyone tried this Nginx, Red Hat
Yes, sir. I will
server?
try it. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
Nginx is
Try
working, sir.
Nginx is working.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So just the procedure will be same in all Linux servers. Okay, just try to explore. Just the commands will change. Ante. Okay, so that you do. And shall we move to the next topic?
Yes, sir.
Why others they're busy? Huh? Saif, Subbu, Kamal, Venkat. Are you guys there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, what we shall do today is we'll explore furthermore. So, what we shall do is we shall learn more about volumes. I just to make a list, otherwise we'll forget. We'll further explore more on volumes, touching volumes, creating volumes, touching, detaching, and also what we say that increasing volume size, increase volumes, and this will for we'll try to experiment more on this today, and after that we'll work on snapshots, creating, restoring. Okay, or else we can also call this as backups. Okay, so this will be working today. Okay, these two topics, these are also very very important. Okay, so once we get into our EC2, then you'll try to understand it better. Okay, so getting back, I'll get to my console. Right. Okay. So I just actually in our class we are not doing. Previously in our classes, what we used to do is I used to give some assignment for the guys or some topics for them to explore. So what you guys do is tomorrow just you explore this topic called load balancer. Okay, load balancer and auto scaling. Okay, so I want you guys to explore these two topics tomorrow, and please explain me what exactly is load balancer, how many types of load balancers are there, so which load balancer we'll use for what purpose, with some example. Okay, So similarly, when we need auto scaling, so advantages of auto scaling and how to configure auto scaling. Okay, these two topics I need you guys to explore and just explain me tomorrow. Okay, we'll discuss about these two topics tomorrow. Okay, and please explore this topic, try to understand it and try to explain me tomorrow. So this is small exercise because mostly have observed that people will know the topic. Okay, they'll learn very much better about all the topics or mostly on services, but they will be unable to interpret or they will be unable to explain it to the interviewer. Okay, so that is the reason we do this exercise. So whatever you are learning, I know you everybody will learn, everybody will host a website, everybody will create instance, everybody will execute commands, everybody will do all the practical part perfectly. But when it comes to the interview, most of the cases people fail because they will be unable to explain the interviewer or unable to show their skill to the interviewer. So this is small exercise. So we used to do this in the last session also. So every day I used to give some topic to that guys, and I used to ask them to explore and explain me for the next class. Okay, are you guys getting it? Please explore these two topics tomorrow:
Okay,
load
sir.
balancer and auto scaling.
Okay, sir.
Okay, just in your the thing is it is just to enhance your skill. That means the one thing is most of the people they fail to explain. So language is also not barrier. If you are unable to explain in English, you can try in Hindi, or even you can try in Telugu also, no problem. The thing is, you should prove yourself that you know the topic. Okay, so that is what you guys need to try. We'll do it tomorrow. Okay, two topics: load balancer and auto scaling. Okay, just explore this topic, right? So coming back to our class, we were discussing about volumes. Okay, so volumes are nothing but we can simply consider your volumes as your hard drives which we are connecting to our servers. So in most of the cases, what happens is volumes are the place where we will be storing our files, data, operating system, everything. So as you know, day by day, as we are utilizing these volumes, so there might be needing of taking more and more data, right? So this data need to be stored in our volumes. Okay, so as you know, uh, AWS is a paid service, right? So I think in the initial classes also I have told you, at a time we won't purchase 1000 GB of data or 500 GB of sorry, 1000 GB of storage or 500 GB of storage at a time, because if our need is 100 GB, we will be purchasing only 100 GB of data storage. Okay, slowly if the 100 GB of storage gets completed, then we'll add another 20 GB or another 50 GB. Okay, so because of the pricing factor. Okay, if you're taking 1000 GB at a time, so you will be charged 1000 GB throughout. Whereas if you are using this 100 GB first for 10 days, then you will be getting charged for only 10 days for 100 GB. Similarly, if you are extending the volume to 50 GB next, so next first 10 days they'll charge for you for 100 GB, and next 10 days they'll be charging for the 50 GB, right? That like that it will be charged. So as you know, we have all created one volume while creating our instances. So just to explore your instances, right now you can see there are three instances, right? Windows Server, Amazon Linux, and Ubuntu. Okay, so when you scroll down, okay, I think here they're not showing. So all these servers will be running through one storage, right? So where is the storage? Basically, in Amazon, we call it as, in the left section you will find EBS. Okay, Elastic Block Storage. Okay, so basically we also call them as EBS. So simply you remember that EBS is the place where your volume, or you can simply in your very common terms we can call it as drive. Okay, all the drives which are related to our servers will be available. So you might be asking, sir, what is this EBS and what is the limitation, and what are the files we can keep? So basically, Amazon will provide so many types of storages. Okay, for example, this you take a memory card. Okay, so memory card, you can call it as EBS. So why? Because memory card, what will happen is, if you can use a memory card only if it is pinned to your laptop or desktop, right? That means this memory card will only be used when it is attached, and also it works for only one single system, right? So these are the this is where we can also simply just I'm trying to give you an example. EBS, you can take an example of a pen drive. So pen drive, if you can use only if it is attached to your computer. That is point number one. Second one is, you can't use the same pen drive on multiple systems at the same time. For example, if I'm using a pen drive on my laptop, the same pen drive cannot be used at other place. That means the pen drive will be fixed to one single unit. That means at a time it can serve only one single system. So these are all the characteristics of EBS storage. So similarly, we have in Amazon, we also have S3 storage. Okay, so what is this S3 storage is? For example, forget about S3. Simply, I will tell you about G drive. So G drive, Google Drive or OneDrive or Dropbox, right? These are all online storages. For example, if you are putting one file in your G drive, Google Drive, so as you know, you will be getting one link, right? So that link can be used by multiple people at the same time, right? So for example, we are doing this class recordings every day. So this file is getting used by multiple people at the same time, right? Multiple people can see the same drive, same video at the same time. Same, a simple example is YouTube also. If you are putting one YouTube video, millions of people can access the same file multiple number of times, right? Whereas when you are working on EBS storage, so EBS storage is fixed. That means EBS storage can only serve one single user. Okay, so that is a difference you need to understand. So simply you understand that EBS is just a fixed storage. So similar to your memory card, or similar to your drive, which C drive, D drive you will be seeing in your operating systems, same. Whereas S3 storage, bucket storage, so these are all like storages where the files are uploaded, and these files can be accessed by multiple users at the same time, right? So whereas volumes can be accessed only by one single user. Okay, so for exploring more, I'll just click on this volumes. Okay, as you can see in my volume section, so there are three volumes attached, right? So one is for my Windows operating system. Windows operating system is using 30 GB, and 8 GB is used by Amazon Linux, and 8 GB used by Ubuntu. Or else we'll just put the naming also correctly, so then we can recognize very easily. So one C B1 C3 is my Windows. So I think they're not mentioning this. Okay, so here you can see attached instances. So here they are giving the name. So B1C3, it is Windows Server. Okay, so just for your reference, I'll put the names. So this is Windows Server volume. Okay, similarly, this is Amazon Linux, and this is Ubuntu. Just I'll naming system will do Amazon Linux, and this is Ubuntu. Okay, so as you know, I'm having three volumes, and these three volumes are attached to my instances. Simply you can consider this as your hard drives. Okay, these three are your hard drives for these three instances. Okay, so each instance will be, or else you can just check from here also. Each instance, for example, if I take Windows Server, just click on this instance. If you scroll down, you will be having one section called storage. In your storage section, you can see how many volumes are attached, like, or a simple example, how many drives are attached to your Windows Server. Okay, right now as you can see, we are using one volume called D3AFF with 30 GB of storage. Okay, so now we'll access the same drive from our RDP file. Okay, once we'll get connect to this, then we'll understand how we'll be creating this uh, volume. Okay, so I'll just log in with this once, remote desktop, connect. Yes. Okay, so I got connected to my uh, Windows Server. So can anyone tell me how can I see my drives on my computer? Any guess how to see all the drives?
File Explorer.
This is for normal users. For example, if I open this PC, there is only one C drive. This is for normal people. If you want to do some technical changes, for example, if you want to add the drive or remove a drive or format a drive, any guess where we can do that operations regarding drive?
Control panel, I think.
Okay, I'll go to control panel. Control panel. Then I'll go to hardware. Maybe you'll be thinking from this section. Here you can be devices and printers. You can click on device manager. Okay. I think here it is not possible. Okay, let us check. I think I'll go to disk drives. This is the disk drive. Okay. No, we are not able to do the operations here. I want to add a volume, delete a volume, like that. No operations are available. Okay, so close this. So forget about this control panel. So simply you can search for computer management. Okay, so computer management, just you can search in your start menu. You can go to computer management. Okay, so here you can be, you'll be seeing tools regarding your computer. Okay, I'll open this. So in this section, where what you can do, just I think it is disk management, I hope. Right, it is disk management. Okay, so here you can see you have only one volume attached to this. Okay, one volume, which is the main one, and it is having 30 GB of capacity. Okay, so here you can do the operations, right click, explore, format, sync, etc. As it is, as we are having only one single drive, we cannot do any operations, because in the C drive we have our operating system. Okay, so now what we shall do is we shall try to add one volume. For example, it is showing me as 51% free. Consider that now I have utilized 98% of my storage. If further more data I'm putting into my volume, it won't take it, right? So in that case, I will try to attach one volume. Okay, how to do that, we'll understand. So one thing is, this is just one instance. You can't do anything here, right? As you know, this operating system is all stored in one volume, right? So simply we'll go to your volumes section, go to instance, click on in the left section, you'll find EBS volumes. Okay. So as you know, I have three volumes of different operating systems. I will check for my Windows server. Okay, this is the one which I am using, the 30 GB storage. Okay, now I'll open this. right? So this is the volume I'm using. Okay. So now what I can do, what I want to do, I want to add some more storage to my server. Okay, that means adding volume to my server. So simply what you can do, just click on actions. Okay, it is not showing attach volume. It should be here. First you need to create volume, right? Then only you can attach. So you need to just remember the steps. So first is, I think the steps will should work. First one, steps. So first we need to, I'll write here. Steps are: point one, create a volume. Okay, I hope you guys are also making notes. Please write the steps also in your own words. Create a volume, then attach the volume. Okay, first we'll complete these two steps. We'll create, then I'll attach the volume to instance. So coming back, I'll just so here you can see on the top, you can see an option called create volume. I'll click on that. Okay, so I hope you remember we are using general purpose SSD GP2. So GP2 we are using for all our instances. Okay, so we follow the same. And here what is telling, minimum 1 GB of storage and maximum 16,384 GB. Okay, that means you can put storage up to that extent. Okay, so what I will do, I as we know, the more data storage we take, we need to pay more, right? So I'll start with minimum. I will say I'll take only 1 GB of data. Okay, right? So this you can see our Mumbai region. So Mumbai region, it should show, I think south one is correct only. Okay, south one. Okay, so it is correct only, no changes. And this snapshot I will teach you in the next topic. Okay, first we'll create this regarding the operations regarding this volumes. Then I'll teach you what snapshot exactly is. Okay, so then scroll down and you can add some tags. I'll say windows additional volume. I'll say 1 GB Windows volume. So this is just for your reference purpose, like for your information to remember what exactly is that. Description will say na, some description type of. Okay. So what I'm doing, I'm creating a volume of 1 GB. Okay. So create volume. Okay. So as you can see, a volume has been created, right? So this is the volume created and availability zone volume. And you can see at in the sections for attached instances, right? So this volume we have created, but we haven't attached it to any instance. Okay, if you want to use this volume, if you want to use this volume, then you need to attach it to your instance. Then only you will be able to use it. Okay, so now what we shall do, just after creating your instance, just refresh, let it start working. Okay, it is in available state now, right? Okay, volume state is okay. So now what we shall do, we shall add this volume to our instance. So how to do that? So two steps we have completed. One step creating volume, attach the volume to the instance. Now we are doing the second step. So open your volume, right? So click on this actions button. So here you will be seeing an option called attach volume. So that means this volume will be this is an option to add this volume to your instance. So click on attach volume. So here it will be asking your basic details. So which instance you want to attach this volume 2. Okay, so just refresh this button, it will update the list of all your instances. Okay, when you scroll down, as you can see, there are three instances for us. Okay, so you can select your instance where you want to attach this volume. Okay, so we are working on Windows Server, so I'll select Windows Server. I'll attach this extra volume to my Windows Server. Okay, select, right, have attached the instance. Okay, so don't try to change any name, it will be automatically generated. Okay, then click on attach volume. Okay, two steps completed. We have created one volume, we have attached the volume to the instance. Now we'll go to third step. So as you can see, I have attached the volume. It should change the status here, right? So this is our this I'll say, or else new volume. Okay, we'll give the name. So new volume I have given. So volume ID, and you can see attached instances. Okay, so this volume is working for Windows Server, right? Two volumes, one drive number one and drive number two. So let us go back to our server and see whether it is working or not. Okay, this is my instance. So this is my file explorer. Okay, just a refresh, it is not showing, right? So as you can see, this is not showing, right? But as you can see physically here, physically the drive has been attached to our instance. So one drive, two drive, so two drives I have to see in my server, but as you can see it is only showing one server. Okay, so that is the reason I have asked what is the tool or application we use to manage the drives. So we found out that we can manage our drives at from this place, so called computer management. Okay, so inside this computer management, what you can do is under the storage section, you will be finding option called disk management. Okay, so as you can see, disk management I have clicked, right? And here you can see it is showing me the additional volume, right? So the additional volume has been attached, but I'm unable to use it. So right, so we need to make it to use to our instance. So how to do that? So first, right click. So this option should be there, so should select, this is unallocated space, so we need to allocate it to our servers. That means we need to make it available to our server. Okay, to make it available to our server, we need to create a volume. Okay, so as you can see, the simple volume got in disabled state, right? So this is not correct, so we want to create a volume. So first time, remember that you won't get this new simple volume directly. Okay, you will not be able to see this option. So what you need to do is, so right click on this disk. Okay, what is saying, it is not initialized. Okay, so first what you need to do, first you need to initialize the disk. That means you should make the drive understand to our Windows Server. So for that purpose we need to initialize our disk first. So don't forget, so you can't use the drive directly. First you need to initialize disk. Okay, so click on this, and you can just select your drive and let it be in the default setting master boot record. Okay, and click on OK. Right. So don't forget this step. This step will note down. Open computer management. Then what we have seen in this under storage disk management. Storage disk management. Okay. Fourth one, check for new drive. So this we have done. Fifth one, what we need to do, we need to initialize the drive. This is the important step. So initialize the drive. Okay, so these steps we have completed. So sixth one, will come back to our server. Okay, so now we'll check whether we will be able to create a volume or not. So previously it has not allowing us to create the volume. So select and right click. Okay, so now you can see that a new simple volume got enabled. Okay, so click on new simple volume, right? Click on next, next, next. So here you can assign your drive number also. Okay, so I will be assigning it as D. Click on next. You can label the name if you want to any use any name for that. Okay, click on next, finish. Okay, so now you can see two drives available in your Windows server, right? Drive number C with 30 GB storage, and drive number D with 1021 MB, and out of that 98% of the storage is available for free. Okay, so we'll get back to our Explorer and we will see. So I'll just open my Explorer. Okay, as you can see, I have found my new volume. Okay, so this is how you will be creating a volume or attaching a drive space to our volume. Okay, to our server. So this is how we do it. And I think we just initial I will complete this thing. And the text create a volume. Okay, so this will create a volume. Okay, so these steps you need to follow, and also you can just write these steps according to your own understanding. Okay, in your own words you can write. So now what we wanted to do today, so I wanted to create volume. So I have created volume, and I want to attach a volume. I have attached a volume, right? Similarly, now we'll try to detach a volume. Okay, right? So we'll do that also. So as you can see in this EBS and volumes section, when you scroll here, you can see further information. As you can see, our Windows server is working with on two drives, right? One is here and one is here, right? So if you want to detach a volume, that means if you want to remove a volume from the operating system, remove a volume from your instance. Okay, so what you need to do is just open your volume. Okay, go to your actions section, click on actions, and here you can see detach volume. Okay, so click on detach volume. So this will detach, this will remove the drive or volume from your instance. So click on detach. Okay, as it is saying now, it is volume detached. Okay, let us go and see whether it got detached or not. Okay, so here you can see the status, it is still not removed yet. Okay, right? So right now it is removed. Okay, and also try to see the status. So here in the volume state you can see, so this volume is available to use. That means it is free to use. If it is occupied by any of the other instances, it will show this sign. That means this drive is already in use by some other operating system. That means it cannot be used. If you want to use this volume, what you need to do, you need to detach the volume from the existing instance, and then you need to make it available first. After the status changes to available, then only you will be able to attach it to the instance. Okay, so right now as you can see, I have detached my instance. Okay, so it is available such that I can use it to on any instance. Okay, if you want to reconfirm, just open your server, right? Even in your server you can see the volume got detached. Okay, it's not like our real hardware computers where we need to switch off the computer, we need to switch the cables, right? After restarting, it will show up. Okay, so here everything will happen even if your instance is in running condition only. Okay, so I think this is how to detach it. So the next option is what we try to learn. So increasing volumes. Okay, so if you want to one thing is you understood how to create a volume. So creating volume, for example, if you want, if you are creating volume of, for example, 100 GB, okay, 100 GB you have created, and after 100 GB got filled, what you can do is instead of for every 100 GB, you will not be able to create more and more drives, right? So every time if you create this 100 GB drives continuously, for example, if in 1 or 2 years you'll be having several hundreds of drives, right? It is not a proper way of creating volumes, right? So there should be some organized way. So now, for example, 100 GB got filled, I can extend this volume. Okay, for example, I can extend this volume to plus 25 GB. Okay, so once after this 125 GB gets filled, what I'll do, I can extend furthermore, I can add one more 50. So just for reference purpose, I'm giving these numbers. So how much ever you want, you can add this volumes. Okay, so we shall explore how this will happen. Okay, right? So we'll get back to our EBS. Okay, in the volume section, as you can see, it is of only 1 GB, right? So I'll extend this, I'll try to extend this volume. So click on volume. Okay, simply what you can do is get into this actions section. Okay, not action section, it is maybe modify section. Okay, click on modify. So modify option is also available just before this modify volume, and here you can see it is selecting our default storage type, and it will be size. For example, I'll say I'll increase from 1 GB to 2 GB. I'm very using it in a very limited way. Why? Because for the free tier, they are giving us only 30 GB of storage. Okay. If you are using more than 30 GB of storage, automatically they will be charging you for your account. So that is the reason I'm not experimenting on big numbers. I'm just experimenting on small numbers. Okay. So previously it was 1 GB. So now I'm changing the number to 2 GB. That means I'm extending the volume by 1 GB. Then click on modify. Click on apply. Right? So requesting module volume modification. So just refresh. Okay. So now you can see you have 2 GB volume. So now what you can do, as the volume are already increased, simply what you can do, you can just attach it to your instances. So attach volume. So scroll down and select your server. So select this and try to attach volume. Okay, so this is how you'll be extending your volume. Okay, so next we'll try to explore how to delete your volumes. Okay, so how to delete volume is a volume cannot be deleted when it is in use condition. Okay, so okay, let it come to use first. Okay, it is taking much time today. We'll just check in our drive. It's still showing 1 GB. Okay, 1 GB drive, right? But we have attached 2 GB drive. Okay, and one more thing what you need to remember is, if you want to remove a volume, okay, so the option is like you can't remove a volume when it is in use condition. Okay, when the volume is getting used by some instance, you cannot delete the volume. So first what you need to do is you need to detach the volume first, and then go for the remove process. Okay, so that is important steps. So how you do is, first detach the volume, then delete the volume. Okay, most of the guys they'll forget this. So when you try to delete the volume, it won't get deleted directly. Okay, so first this is a simple trick. Most of the guys they will get it after some experience, or maybe after some failure. Okay, so first detach the volume and then delete the volume. So this you need to remember for deleting your volumes. Okay, so I'll come back. Oh, it is taking much time today. So in Status, I'll go to EBS volume, new volume. Okay, in use. It is still showing in use. I'll do one thing, or else it is already showing the status like attached to this our server, right? So we shall try to delete now. First we should, as you know, if you want to delete, first you need to detach. So as you can see, when you click on this action, first you need to select your volume, or else you can directly just get inside your volume by clicking on volume ID. Okay, so I've clicked on volume ID. So these are all the details. Okay, so here you can check the health of your drive monitoring. So I think they will be providing us some graphs, right? So these are all further much information about how your drives are performing. Okay, right? So coming back, to remove your volume, just click on actions, and first you need to detach your volume. So click on detach, and then click on delete. As you can see, uh, here you can see the delete option is disabled, right? So the delete option is disabled. Why? Because it is in use condition, right? So once you detach this volume, automatically this will be in delete button will get in enabled condition. Okay, so let us check. Here it is disabled. I'll go click on detach volume, click on detach, right? So we got the message successfully detached. Okay, so but the delete button is not enabled yet. I'll just refresh the page. Okay, so when I refresh, as you can see, we this delete button got enabled. So now you have the permission to delete this button. So delete this volume. So just click on this delete, and click on delete. So this will remove your volume. As you can see, it got updated, successfully deleted volume. Okay, so as you can see, only three volumes available here. Okay, so this is how you will be working. So here I think if refresh, okay, already gone. Okay, so this is how you'll be working on your volumes. Okay, so just try to explore more. And we have tried for what we say, we tried for Windows, right? In the same way, try for Ubuntu, Ubuntu or Linux or any other open source server. Okay, just you can keep practicing for 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, we'll take some break, and we'll resume back at 9:15. Okay, just try to if you are having time, you can just work on this volumes. 30 GB స్టోరేజ్ మాత్రమే ఉంటుంది. బియాండ్ 30 GB యూసేజ్కి దే విల్ బి ఛార్జింగ్ యూ. ఓకే. అందుకే ఏం చేస్తారంటే ఫ్రీక్వెంట్గా ఒక్కసారి మీ బిల్లింగ్ సెక్షన్ ఒకసారి చెక్ చేస్తూ ఉండండి అమ్మా.
Okay, sir.
ఒకసారి చూద్దాం నాది కూడా, బికాజ్ ఐఎమ్ యూజింగ్ మోర్. ఇక్కడ ఇది ఒకటే, బికాస్ విండోస్ సర్వర్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ టేకింగ్ 30 GB ఆఫ్ స్టోరేజ్. అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ దాట్ ఐఎమ్ ఆస్కింగ్ ఫర్ 8 GB అండ్ 8 GB మోర్ స్టోరేజ్. ఒకసారి చూద్దాం మరి ఎలా ఉందో ఒకసారి. సో యూ కెన్ గో టు దిస్ బిల్లింగ్ డాష్ బోర్డ్. ఇంకొకటి ఏంటంటే వీల్ బి హ్యావింగ్ ద ఫోర్కాస్ట్ అనమాట. ఫోర్కాస్ట్ ముందు నెక్స్ట్ ఏమవుతుంది, ఎప్పుడు యుల్ బి రీచింగ్ యువర్ డెడ్ లైన్ అని మనకి ఫోర్కాస్ట్ ఉంటుంది. ఫోర్కాస్ట్లో చూస్తే ఇంకా మీకు క్లియర్గా వస్తుంది.
Sir, we have no, okay, sir.
చెప్పమ్మా, స్క్రీన్
Nothing,
వస్తుందా?
nothing, sir. వస్తుంది సార్. అదే ఇప్పుడు వరకు రాలేదు. వస్తుంది.
ఓకే. సో ఐ విల్ గో టు బిల్స్. ఓకే, ఇప్పటి వరకు అయితే బిల్ అయితే ఏమీ అవ్వలేదు, $0 ఉంది. ఓకే. సో ఫ్రీ టైర్లో ఇక్కడ లెఫ్ట్ సెక్షన్లో మీకు ఫ్రీ టైర్ అని ఉంటుంది. ఒకసారి ఫ్రీ టైర్లో చెక్ చేస్తూ ఉండండి. అంటే మనం ఎంత కన్జ్యూమ్ చేస్తాం, యాక్చువల్గా వాళ్ళు ఎంత ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తున్నారు, మనం ఎంత యూస్ చేస్తాం అలా. సో ఇక్కడ మనం 3 సర్వర్లు యూజ్ చేసినాం కదా. సో ఇది ఇది విండోస్ సర్వర్ ఒకటి, ఇది యూబంటూ అనుకుంటా. ఓకే. సో ఇక్కడ స్క్రోల్ చేస్తే ఇట్ విల్ ఫోర్కాస్ట్ అనమాట, మనకు కరెక్ట్గా మనం ఉంటుందా లేకపోతే బియాండ్ వెళ్తామా అని. సో రైట్ నౌ ఐ థింక్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈజ్ అండర్ కంట్రోల్ ఓన్లీ. సో మీరు ఎప్పుడైనా కూడా ఎక్కువ ఎక్సెస్గా యూస్ చేసినప్పుడు ఇక్కడ మీకు ఇది రెడ్లో అయిపోతుంది అనమాట. ఓకే. సో ఇది సో ఇప్పుడు ఏమంటున్నాడు వీడు, సో టోటల్గా 30 GB పర్ మంత్ అంటున్నాడు. ఓకే. సో 30 GBలో వీఆర్ కన్జ్యూమింగ్ జస్ట్ 11 GB పర్ మంత్. ఫోర్కాస్ట్ అంటే ఏమంటున్నాడు అంటే మేబీ యూ విల్ బి ఇదే ఇదే రేంజ్లో మనం యూస్ చేస్తే వీ మైట్ బి రీచింగ్ 13 GB పర్ మంత్. సో దెర్ ఈస్ నో రిస్క్. ఓకే. సో సిమిలర్గా ఇక్కడ ఏమంటున్నాడు 750 hours ఆఫ్ సర్వర్ టైం అంటున్నాము. సో కరెంట్ యూసేజ్ ఈజ్ ఓన్లీ 91 అవర్స్ మాత్రమే మనం యూజ్ చేసాం. సో ఇలాగే ఇఫ్ యూఆర్ యూజింగ్ సేమ్ లైక్ వీక్లీ కానీ, వీక్లీ అనాలిటిక్స్ అనమాట, ఈ వీక్ మొత్తం దాన్ని యావరేజ్ తీసుకొని యావరేజ్గా వీక్లీ ఒక 91 అవర్స్ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాం అంటే మేబీ ఫోర్కాస్టింగ్ ఏంటి అంటే నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ కానీ మంత్ ఎండ్ కానీ 114 అవర్స్ వరకు రీచ్ అవుతారు. ఓకే. సో ఈ ఫోర్కాస్ట్ని కూడా అప్పుడప్పుడు ఫాలో అవుతూ ఉండండి. సో ముందే ప్రెడిక్ట్ చేస్తుంది అనమాట, యూ విల్ బీ ఎట్ ద సేఫ్ జోన్ ఆర్ యూ విల్ బీ ఎక్సీడింగ్ ద లిమిట్. సో అదొకటి మనకి ఇక్కడ ఇది ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తుంది. ఓకే. సో ఇన్సైడ్ యువర్ బిల్లింగ్ సెక్షన్ ఓన్లీ జస్ట్ లుక్ ఫర్ దిస్ ఫ్రీ టైర్ సెక్షన్. ఈ ఫ్రీ టైర్ సెక్షన్లో మీరు ఏమేమి సర్వీసెస్ యూస్ చేస్తున్నాము, సో మీరు ఎక్సీడ్ అవుతున్నారా లేకపోతే విత్ ఇన్ ద లిమిట్ ఉన్నారో మనం చెక్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఓకే. సో గెటింగ్ బ్యాక్ టు అవర్ క్లాస్, దిస్ ఈస్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ద మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ టాపిక్. సో బ్యాకప్ ఎలా తీసుకుంటారు మన సర్వర్స్ది. ఓకే. సో మళ్ళీ ఇంకొకటి, ఆ బ్యాకప్ ఎలా షెడ్యూల్ చేసుకుంటారు, సో ఆ బ్యాకప్ని మళ్ళీ ఎలా రీస్టోర్ చేస్తారు. సో దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ వీ షల్ డూ టుడే. సో ఐ విల్ గో టు ఇన్స్టెన్సెస్. ఓకే. సో వాట్ వీ షల్ డూ ఇస్ we shall make the notes 1 second. So snapshot lo creating and registering, mostly it will be same only. Only these two steps will be there. So first ఏంటంటే స్నాప్షాట్ ఎలా క్రియేట్ చేయాలి, that will be focus on. Okay. సో ఫస్ట్ థింగ్ ఈజ్ మనకి బ్యాకప్ ఎందుకు, వై వీ నీడ్ ఏ బ్యాకప్. సో బేసికలీ వై వీ టేక్ ఎ బ్యాకప్ ఈజ్, ఇప్పుడు వీ నీడ్ అవర్ సర్వర్స్ టు బి రన్నింగ్ ఆల్ ద టైమ్ 24/7. ఓకే. సో బేసికలీ వాట్ హ్యాపన్స్ ఈస్, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ యూ కెన్ చేంజ్ సమ్ టైమ్స్, వాట్ హ్యాపన్స్ ఈస్ యువర్ సర్వర్ మైట్ గెట్ క్రాష్డ్. ఓకే. సో క్రాష్ అయిపోయినప్పుడు యూ మైట్ బి దేర్ ఆర్ ద సమ్ ఛాన్సెస్ ఆఫ్ లూసింగ్ యువర్ డేటా. సో అప్పుడు మనకి ఆ ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ డేటా అనేది మనకి ఎక్కడ ఉంటుంది, సో బ్యాకప్లో ఉంటుంది. సో బ్యాకప్ చేసి పెట్టుకుంటే ఏంటి అంటే ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ యువర్ సర్వర్ గెట్స్ క్రాష్డ్ ఆర్ మేబీ సమ్ అదర్ కెలామిటీస్ కానీ నేచురల్ కెలామిటీస్ కానీ లేకపోతే ఏమైనా ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ అప్డేటింగ్ యువర్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్, if your update doesn't work properly, so what you can do, if you can roll back to the previous, మన రోల్ బ్యాక్ టు యర్ ప్రీవియస్ కండిషన్. సో అది మనం ఎలా చేస్తాము. సో రోల్ బ్యాక్ అంటే ఏంటి అంటే ఇఫ్ యూఆర్ వాంట్ టు క్రియేట్ వన్ న్యూ సర్వీస్ టు యువర్ యూజర్స్, సో కొత్త ఫీచర్ యాడ్ చేశారు. ఓకే, కొత్త ఫీచర్ యాడ్ చేసినప్పుడు కొత్త ఫీచర్ యాడ్ చేయకముందు ఏం చేస్తారంటే ఒక బ్యాకప్ తీసుకుంటారనమాట. సో బ్యాకప్ ఎందుకు తీసుకుంటారంటే ఇఫ్ ఎట్ ఆల్ ద న్యూ ఫీచర్ విచ్ యు ఆర్ గివింగ్ టు యువర్ కస్టమర్స్, if it doesn't work properly, then what you can do is you can just uh, take back your new feature. సో దాన్ని ఏమంటారంటే రోల్ బ్యాక్ అంటారనమాట. రోల్ బ్యాక్ అంటే ఏంటి అంటే కమింగ్ బ్యాక్ టు ద ప్రీవియస్ వర్షన్. సో మనకు ఆ ప్రీవియస్ వర్షన్ కావాలంటే ఏం చేయాలి, అప్పుడు ఎప్పుడైనా కొత్త అప్డేట్ ఇచ్చే ముందు ఫస్ట్ మనం ఒక బ్యాకప్ తీసుకుంటాం అనమాట. సో బ్యాకప్ ఎందుకు, వై దెర్ ఈస్ అ నీడ్ ఆఫ్ బ్యాకప్ అంటే కొత్త ఫీచర్ అనేది మనం అనుకున్నంతగా వర్క్ చేయకపోతే వీ షుడ్ కమ్ బ్యాక్ టు ద ప్రీవియస్ వర్షన్. మళ్ళీ మనం ప్రీవియస్ వర్షన్కి రావాలి అంటే హౌ యూ విల్ గో టు ప్రీవియస్ వర్షన్ ఈస్, సో ద బ్యాకప్ విచ్ యూ హ్యావ్ టేకెన్ ఎర్లియర్ కెన్ బి రీస్టోర్డ్. సో మనం ఆ ప్రీవియస్ వర్షన్ బ్యాకప్ తీసుకొని దాన్ని రీస్టోర్ చేసుకుంటాం, మళ్ళీ పుల్లింగ్ బ్యాక్ ద న్యూయర్ వర్షన్. ఓకే, సో అది మనం ఎలా చేస్తామో ఒకసారి ప్రాక్టికల్గా చేస్తే మీకు ఐడియా వస్తుంది. ఓకే, సో ఫస్ట్, సో బేసికల్గా ఏంటి అంటే ఆ బ్యాకప్ని ఇక్కడ మనం ఏడబ్ల్యూఎస్ పర్స్పెక్టివ్లో వీ కాల్ ఇట్ యాజ్ స్నాప్షాట్. ఓకే, సో స్నాప్షాట్స్ అంటాం అనమాట. సో స్నాప్షాట్స్ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ యూ కెన్ జస్ట్ కన్సిడర్ యాజ్ బ్యాకప్ ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ ఏడబ్ల్యూఎస్. ఓకే, so technically they will start calling it as snapshot. So snapshots where it is available for you is just ఇక్కడ మీకు లెఫ్ట్ సెక్షన్ లో అండర్ దిస్ EBS only you will be finding the snapshot. Okay, just click on snapshot. ఓకే, సో యాజ్ యూ కెన్ సీ రైట్ నో దెర్ ఇస్ నో స్నాప్షాట్. మనకి ఇక్కడ స్నాప్షాట్స్ ఏం ఇప్పటివరకు మనం ఎప్పుడు బ్యాకప్ తీసుకోలేదు కదా, సో వీ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ స్నాప్షాట్. సో మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే రైట్ నో విల్ బి క్రియేటింగ్ వన్ స్నాప్షాట్. ఎలా క్రియేట్ చేయాలి అంటే జస్ట్ క్లిక్ ఆన్ క్రియేట్ స్నాప్షాట్ రైట్ సెక్షన్లో. ఓకే, క్లిక్ ఆన్ క్రియేట్ స్నాప్షాట్. ఓకే, సో హియర్ యూ విల్ బి సీయింగ్ two options. Okay, one is, do you want to do snapshot of only your volume అంటే ఓన్లీ డ్రైవ్ ఒక బ్యాకప్ తీసుకుంటుంది. వెరాజ్ ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇన్స్టెన్స్ అంటే టోటల్ సర్వర్, సో ఆ సర్వర్కి రిలేటెడ్ ఎన్ని వాల్యూమ్స్ ఉన్నా కూడా కంప్లీట్గా తీసుకుంటారు. సో వాట్ వుడ్ ఐ వాంట్ ఇస్ యూ గైస్ నీడ్ టు ప్రాక్టీస్ బోత్. యాక్చువల్గా వాల్యూమ్ బ్యాకప్ చేస్తే ఐఎమ్ సెయింగ్ ఓన్లీ డ్రైవ్ విల్ గెట్ బ్యాకప్. సో డ్రైవ్ని ఎలా రీస్టోర్ చేస్తారు, అండ్ ఆల్సో ఇన్స్టెన్స్ ఇస్ నథింగ్ బట్ ద టోటల్ సిస్టమ్. if you are working on Windows operating system, so the total Windows operating system will be restored అంటే టోటల్ సర్వర్ కంప్లీట్గా రీస్టోర్ అవుతుంది. సిమిలర్లీ ఇఫ్ యూఆర్ డూయింగ్ యూబంటు, సో టోటల్ యూబంటు ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ విల్ గెట్ రీస్టోర్డ్. వేరాస్ వాల్యూమ్ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఇట్ విల్ బి స్పెసిఫిక్ టు ద డ్రైవ్. మనకి ఏదైతే డ్రైవ్ ఉందో ఆ ఒక్క డ్రైవ్ మాత్రమే మనము బ్యాకప్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, so we can do both. So as you know that every instance is working with a volume, so you might be thinking that okay, if మనము for example we are having Windows server working on 30 GB of volume కదా. సో 30 GB ఆఫ్ వాల్యూమ్లో వర్కింగ్ అంటే ఏమవుతుందంటే ఓన్లీ యూ విల్ గెట్ దట్ స్పెసిఫిక్ డ్రైవ్ అనమాట, డ్రైవ్ మాత్రమే వస్తుంది. సో డ్రైవ్ వచ్చినప్పుడు ఏంటంటే యూ కాంట్ రన్ యువర్ సర్వర్. సో జస్ట్ లైక్ ఏ స్టోరేజ్ మెమరీ కార్డ్ లాగా యూ విల్ గెట్ ఇట్. ఓకే, సో ఇన్స్టెన్స్ చేసినప్పుడు ఏంటి అంటే యూ విల్ గెట్ యువర్ ఫైల్స్ బ్యాక్ యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ యువర్ సర్వర్ కూడా మనకి రిటర్న్ వచ్చేస్తుంది. ఓకే, సో వాల్యూమ్ మనం చేస్తే ఏంటి అంటే ఓన్లీ ఫైల్స్కి మాత్రమే. సో ఇన్స్టెన్స్ విల్ ఆల్సో బ్రింగ్ బ్యాక్ యువర్ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్, యువర్ సర్వర్ సెట్టింగ్స్, ఎవ్రీథింగ్. ఓకే, సో బీ స్పెసిఫిక్ వెన్ మన రిక్వైర్మెంట్ బట్టి వి విల్ బీ చూసింగ్. ఓకే, so you need to practice both. I think right, we won't be having that much time to try both, but the procedure will be completely same. Okay. So we'll try, if at all if we can able to do it, we'll try to do both. Okay, so now I'll try to do with volume. Okay, so volume ఏంటి అంటే, if you are accidentally deleting your volume, you can get back your volume. Similarly, if you accidentally delete your server, you can get back your server when you do a snapshot of it. So select the volume, scroll down. As you can see, there are three volumes కదా మనకు. We have three volumes, so I'll select this Windows Server volume. Okay, so I'll say description, so you can add the name. I'll say today April 25, and also you can add time. So time is 9:29 a.m. Okay, so this snapshot will be taken up to this particular time. So in the tags also you can add the same. I'll say add tag April 29, the value is April 29, right? April 25, 9:29 a.m. and create snapshot. Okay, so this will create a backup copy of your volume. Okay, so similarly now I'll go back. We'll create the snapshot of this our operating system also. We'll try to do that. So I'll select the instance and scroll down. Now we shall do backup of our. We'll see. Let's see. We'll be doing our Amazon Linux backup. Okay. So I'll say Amazon Linux backup 25th April. Okay. So previously we have done backup of our volume. So now we will do the backup of our instance. Okay. So when you are doing backup of your instance, it is showing you some additional settings. So what is telling, exclude root volume, right? So we want to include, as we know, our operating, if we, as our operating system is there on the root volume, right? So if you are having multiple volumes, this options you can use. So please don't exclude, because if you exclude this, all your files are in you are having only one volume. If you exclude that volume, there will be nothing to restore. Okay, so don't go for this option and click on create snapshot. I'll add a tag. So Amazon Linux April 25 is 9:31 a.m. Okay, click on create snapshot. So as you can see, now we are doing the snapshot for instance. Okay, so we have two things. So one of the backup we are doing for this snapshot. Sorry, no, name is not required for Amazon Linux instance. Okay, so this is for Linux instance, and this we have done for Windows Server, right? Okay, same. So now, as you can see, the backup process has been started. So the work is in progress condition. Okay, just restore. Okay, almost 100% done. Okay, right. Both of them has completed to take the backup. So we shall just write the steps. Uh, Two types. One is volume, second is instance. So volume will only get the drive back, whereas instance will get back your operating system along with settings. Okay, right. So creating the snapshot is done. So now we need to restore. Okay, first we'll what we'll do is For example, this is Windows Server 30 GB drive, right? So you can select the particular drive, and you can just click on actions. Okay, so what is asking now, what you can do, we can just getting the option create volume from snapshot. That means this we have created a copy of backup, right? So what we can do is this backup we can create back to a volume. So what will you do? This will create the new volume with my old settings, because for example April 25 9:21 a.m., on that particular date I have taken backup. Okay, so now for example April 25, for example you consider 9:35 a.m. So it will create this if I restore, it will create a volume to this particular time. So let us see how it will work. So click on actions, create volume for from snapshot. So this is the snapshot. I'll be creating a new volume. Okay, so click on new volume, right? So as you know, all the default settings it got it by yours itself. As we know, our drive was 30 GB, so it has taken the default 30 GB by itself, and it has been taking the same default availability zone by itself. Okay, then here I'll be adding one tag for our remember, for identification. So I'll say restored volume. I'll say restored volume. Okay, so next click on create volume. Okay, so new volume create will be created with the old settings. Okay, so I think it is saying successfully created it, however it will take some time. Okay, right. So once I'll go back to my volume section. Okay, so as you can see, there is one additional fourth volume. Okay, this is the fourth volume which has been added. Okay, now what simply you can do, you can just simply add this volume to your operating system and you can use. As you can see, it is in free condition. Okay, so you can ask me like what does this volume contain? So this volume is the backup copy which was taken on 25th April 9:25 a.m. Okay, so what we shall do, we shall just try to attach this volume. Click on action, and sorry, open this, and you can say action. You can also click on attach volume. So we'll try to attach this volume to our Windows operating system, right? And click on attach volume, right? So as we know that all we have attached the extra volume. Now just I'll go to my uh, server. I'll just refresh. Okay, it is not showing up, so I think it is in offline condition still. Open. So I'll say right click. As already we know, we need to initialize this online. Okay, it bought it online. So now we shall compare. So as you know, as you can see, this D drive is the copy of same operating system, right? So we have restored it. So we shall see here the same files, or else we just try to see this XYZ folder, right? XYZ folder is there. Okay. So D drive we have just restored, right? XYZ. Okay, so that means all the files to on that particular time will be taken. Okay, similarly once you have restored, you can get back your old files back. Okay, this is one thing. So what we have tried to do is we have tried to create a backup of a drive, and we have restored it. Okay, so as you know, we have restored the volume. If we doesn't want, we can just delete the volume again. So actions. Okay, it's not showing detach volume option. So I think we have selected multiple here. So select, click on detach volume, click on detach, and you can delete your volume. Right, delete. So I think regarding this volumes thing, you already know, we have already practiced. Okay, right. So what we have done, so we have created one backup of volume, restored volume we have done. Okay, right. So now we'll work on this instance. Okay, so what we shall do is, for example, now you got this snapshot. Okay, snapshot of your Amazon Linux. Okay, so that means the backup of your server is available. Okay, now we shall just assume one situation where you have lost your server, or accidentally you have deleted your server, or accidentally you have lost your server, or accidentally your server got crashed. So intentionally we'll try to remove our server. Okay, so as you can see here, practically I'm just deleting my server. So Amazon Linux, I'll go to actions, sorry, instance state. I'll just terminate the instance. Okay. So terminate instance will remove my server totally. Correct. So just refresh this. Okay. As you can see, our server is terminated. That means our server has gone. Okay, so we will not be having our Amazon Linux server anymore. Okay, just imagine the situation, it has been lost, formatted, or crashed, or whatever it might be the reason. Okay, so we might be so if you have done the backup, you can get your server back. So we are all careful. So what I have done is, I have done a I have done one. I have already taken the backup of my server here, right? So for me, the backup of my server is available. Even though I'm losing my server here, as you can see in terminated position, that means it has gone. So still I can get back my instance. So how can you get back your instances? Because you have taken one copy of your instance, you can get it back. Okay. So how to get back is, already you know, we have taken one backup of the instance. So select your instance. So just select your instance snapshot ID. So just click on your actions. So now you can say create volume from snapshot. So just click on create volume from snapshot. So it is saying that it is, I think, have we selected it properly? Here it is showing create an Amazon EBS volume to attach to any EC2 instance in the same availability zone. Okay, so this is Amazon Linux. Okay, click on actions. Okay, once I'll get back snapshot Amazon Linux. Okay, volume it has taken. Okay, So I'll say I'll go to actions, and I think volume should bring back only the volume. Okay, we'll see both. I'll just click on create volume from snapshot, and then I'll create volume. So this should get back the volume of my Amazon Linux server. So create volume. Okay, so get back to my instances, or else just I'll check my volumes. So as you can see, one new drive has been created, the 8 GB volume, which we have just restored, right? But it is not attached to any instance. So once I'll select it, we'll see what it will do. Click on actions, and I think we need to click on attach volume. So attach volume. So here what we can do, we can only just try to include our instance, right? So this is not the thing which we want our server back. Okay, so once I'll do one thing, we'll just click on this instances, and we'll try to launch the instance. Here can we able to create the instance back volume. So not instance type, key pair, not this. We'll click on advanced. No, not this. Okay, I think I have missed some steps somewhere, so I'm unable to get the instance back. I'll just look. I'll just redo the step, and I'll just come back to you. Okay. So I think this is clear. So we have created snapshot for volume. We have done, and creating the snapshot for instance. Both we have done, and we have restored our volume, but unable to restore instance, right? So this I'll just explore, and I'll just work it out on it. So I think I have done somewhere wrong. I'll just try to get back our instance. No problem. Why? Because we have already have our backup. The thing is, we need to find out how to restore it in a proper way. Okay, so I'll just check it out, and I'll fix this. Okay, in the meanwhile, what you can do, you can just try to create snapshots for your volume, create snapshot for your instance, and try to restore the volume. Okay, so this part also, if you can, if you're having time, you can try. Okay, so apart from this, just explore this two topics. One is just to find out what exactly is load balancer, and what exactly is auto scaling. Or else you can just simply write some notes and prepare for this. Okay, tomorrow I'll ask everyone, so please talk a few words about this two topics. Okay, and I think it's already 9:47, and that is it for class today. You can just practice. I will be available here. If you are having any doubt, I'll try to clarify. Okay, you can just practice.